What's going on, Meta fam? In today's video, we are going to cover, that's right, InvestorTurf's article on the FINRA facing serious legal issues and multiple lawsuits going on here with MMTLP. So like I said, you can find this on MMAT News on Twitter. It is also on my Twitter where I retweeted this. So like I said, breaking, FINRA's facing serious legal issues with multiple lawsuits filed against them. The regulator that is supposed to protect retail investors is hurting them instead. So let's get here to this here and let's cover this article. So right there it is. This was published March 25th, and we got the FINRA lawsuit. FINRA's legal litigations. The FINRA authority currently has multiple lawsuits against him. The lawsuit was filed. I might be able to blow this up. Yes, there we go. Make it even a little bigger. Boom. There we go. A lawsuit was filed against FINRA on December 12th, 2022 in the Northern District of Florida for security fraud. Another lawsuit was filed on February 6th, 2023 in the Central District of California for declaratory relief and security fraud. West Christian and Christian Levine Law Group is currently investigating a security and is expecting to file a lawsuit against FINRA, market makers, and other bad actors. The lawsuits were introduced because FINRA halted the security of MMTLP days prior to the company's record date to go private. This trapped millions of short positions and potential counterfeit shares and forced them into a private company. FINRA's halt also took away the opportunity for investors to sell if they didn't want shares of the private company. Multiple companies, including AMC, have made complaints to FINRA regarding large amount of failure to deliver FTDs in their stock. One of the biggest complaints that caused multiple lawsuits against FINRA is the halt of MMTLP. West Christian states this security may be one of the biggest exposed counterfeit shares. FINRA and the MMTLP scandal. MMTLP was MetaMaterials' preferred shares. The company did not give permission to FINRA to have the preferred shares trade. It's alleged the market makers and hedge funds submitted fraudulent information to FINRA to have the security trade on the OTCs. MetaMaterials merged Torchlight Energy in June 21st. All 65,000 Torchlight holders upon record date received special dividend for every share they own. This later appeared in investors' accounts as placeholder until Torchlight assets were sold or spun into a private company. It was clearly stated in the SEC approved proxy statement that the Series A preferred shares were not to be listed or traded on any exchange. In October 2021, the preferred shares mysteriously became tradable on the OTC markets. The former CEO, John Berta, stated that fraudulent information was used and demanded it to stop the trade. Torchlight Energy was heavily shorted prior to the merger. The majority of the shorts didn't close out their positions. It's alleged that hundreds of millions of counterfeit shares got transferred to the preferred shares. This is why market makers use fraudulent information to have the company's preferred shares trade on the OTC markets. Short positions insisted investors to sell their shares, but instead, investors bought the security. After the company announced they were going to take the shares private and filed multiple S-1 forms, the stock rose over 1,000%, soaring past $12 a share. And here you can see on stockinvest.us, you can see what happened here. The U3 halt of MMTLP. The record date for the private company was on December 12th, and the distribution date was on December 14th. Brokerages told their customers the security can still be tradable on those dates, and that short positions must be closed on the 9th or 12th. Multiple brokers sent statements out for forced liquidations if short positions were not covered. The FINRA halted trading prior to the market open on December 9th, eliminating the opportunity for shorts to covers and investors to sell if they didn't want shares in a private company. FINRA uses the code U3 halt for an extraordinary event but does not explain anything. The halt is the third U3 halt in history on an American exchange. This morning, shareholders were eagerly anticipating the closure of short positions following the SEC-approved S1 document and FINRA notices. Many have had their shares for 2 years since the Torchlight merger, hoping for this day when shorts, especially the illegal ones, would be forced to settle their positions before Nextbridge became a private company. Here is the tweet where FINRA releases a statement 100 days after the halt. How ironic. So we moving forward. On March 16, 2023, FINRA released the FAQ response to the MMTLP situation. This response is exactly 100 days after the U3 halt and is disingenuous to investors. FINRA takes fault and states the ticker had multiple coding issues involved. One coding issue is with the FTD data, and the other coding issue is the official deletion of the ticker that lasted 2 months. FINRA also confirms there are still open short positions that are going to be transferred into the private company and blames the broker-dealers for this occurrence. Experts say this is a big problem. You can't have short positions no matter if they are real or counterfeit in a private company. It's illegal. If FINRA truly had investors' best interests in mind, any concerns regarding the settlement and clearance process could have been addressed prior to the halt. Instead, FINRA conveniently decided to wait until December 9, 2022, with no notice to investors to issue the U3 halt, after share price had been manipulated from highs of $12.50 way down to $2.90, and that was per Curtis there. Investors are asking FINRA if FINRA spoke to any broker-dealers, hedge funds, or market makers that may have unsettled positions in the prior to the halt of the stock price dropped dramatically a day before the U3 halt. FINRA provides inaccurate information on how the ticker became a tradable entity. In this case, the issuer filed with the SEC a Form S-3 registration statement for the offering of MMTLP shares and obligated a CUSIP number. FINRA, this is inaccurate. Torchlight filed a shelf S-3 for all types of offering, but not specific to Series A preferred or MMTLP. In order for this S-3 registration to apply, the company would have to specifically address the Series A in a resale registration S-3 and then file a subsequent takedown notice once approved by the SEC for that purpose. A CUSIP number was obtained exclusively for the purpose and distribution of the shares of the Series A preferred shares. What now? There are multiple lawsuits as investors are demanding FINRA to open for 2 days to allow shorts to close out their positions and to regain their 2 days trading. Investors are asking their community to contact Congress, governors, elected officials on the MMTLP situation. The former CEO, John Berta, states, if we end up filing a suit in that manner, we have what we believe are basically bulletproof items that will survive motion to dismiss. And then discovery process starts. Discovery is a wide open door for us to understand exactly who all the bad actors are. You know, your broker dealers involved, market makers, hedge funds, FINRA, DTCC, everybody. Everybody's going to get subpoenaed for their information. Shareholders are suggesting FINRA to release the security blue sheets to the public or to companies Nextbridge Hydrocarbons and Metamaterials. Blue sheet data typically include the names of individual clients, the amount of shares they traded, and when transactions occurred. This could also expose the amount of counterfeit shares in a security. If FINRA is not hiding anything, they should be transparent and release this data to the public or companies. Many of the 65,000 investors who were infected by FINRA's U3 halt, firefighters, doctors, teachers, veterans, and many more shared their story on social media. Here was one. I can't start my family because FINRA has locked my money up. I'm not able to pay my mortgage and may lose my house. I lost everything because FINRA, and unfortunately I can't pay my medical bills because of this. And here is a collection here of all the faces of MMTLP, the investors. This is very emotional here, heartbreaking, of all the people actually putting a face to this situation and what is being done here, guys. I mean, it is just a terrible situation, and hopefully justice will prevail in this, and we are going to win this, guys. I just have that feeling. John Berta, Flamethrower, West Christian, they have our backs. They're going to do what's best for us, and we just have to wait. That's all we can really do in this situation is wait, let things happen. So hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, smash thumbs up, drop me a comment down below. Catch you on the next video, guys. Peace.